We are in an exciting phase of our organization. We're focused on fiscal stability, where program income supports our organization. We are planning for a sustainable future. Financial stability enables Hand in Hand to serve more families in need, helping them to deepen their connection with their family. With 144 qualified instructors, Hand in Hand is well positioned to make a difference, a huge difference. What the world needs right now, more than anything else, are capable, emotionally intelligent, compassionate people who use their full potential to collaborate, solve a long list of challenges that are facing the world today. Threats to social justice, conflict, apathy, these are all symptoms of a greater issue. Children need both their parents who understand how to help them heal from hard times and difficult behavior. They can then cooperate, care for the world around them, and follow their moral compass with integrity. Hand in Hand builds resilient families and children who can think, learn, compromise, and solve problems. This is our 30th year of changing the world by changing parenting, but we need to do more. I love Hand in Hand parenting, and my family lives the mission every single day. In this room, with your support together, we can create a change that lasts a lifetime. This is why you're here today. This is why you've joined us, to make a powerful impact. And because of you, changing parenting will change the world. Thank you.
This family-to-family moment is sponsored by Chevron.
We salute the Parent Leadership Institute. Classes and workshops in 5 Bay Area counties address issues such as parental needs and community, understanding children's needs and emotions, and solutions to the problem of stress in parents' lives.
Why is racism such a strong point these days?
Well, racism really divides our children against one another and divides all of us grown-ups against one another. And we lose a tremendous amount of information and lose enjoyment in our lives when we're taught to be afraid of other people. And what we really want is to give our children a chance to meet the world unafraid.
Zelon and I really disagreed at what her college path was, and it put a huge strain on our relationship. She was so angry, and I was so angry that we weren't connected at all. There was nothing there. It was gone. With help from Patty and really setting limits on what we talked about and then focusing some special time with her, within probably 2 or 3 months of me doing that, she said, "I love you" again. And it had been probably 2 or 3 years since she had said it.
I felt very isolated and alone, probably exactly how she felt. And so when we didn't talk, I felt like I had lost a piece of myself. Working on it together, our relationship now, I'm finding new ways to have her in my life, and our relationship is growing in a direction I didn't think it would grow, but it's growing stronger than it was before.
A mother came to a special time class with a 3-year-old boy who had spent his first year in an orphanage in a foreign country that was very poorly run. So he had had almost no personal connection with anybody during his whole first year, which is very, very damaging to children. And she had brought him to a local preschool, and he had spent 3 months hanging on to her shirt with clenched fists the whole time he was there. So they came to our playgroup, and he did exactly the same thing, clung to her shirt with tight fists. We got play listening going by getting him laughing just a little bit, just building a little bit of trust, getting a little game going with him, hanging on to his mom. Slowly but surely, he began to be able to move away from her. He began to be able to ride on my back 2 feet away and come back, and I'd dump him in her lap. We built trust over time. She would move 3 feet away, and I would stay with him, and he would just cry and cry and cry in my arms. I'd listen and listen and listen. This began to, help him be a little more relaxed without her, just unloading this tremendous fear that he had. And one day, we had moved it so that she was a little farther away. I was with him, and he was crying and crying. And after 8 minutes, he stopped crying, and he looked me right in the eye. And he said, "When I was in the orphanage, I cried and I cried and I cried, and you didn't come." And I just had to say, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you then. I didn't know you were there. I'm here now, and I'm right here for you. And he just stopped crying. He looked at his mom. She came back. He ran into her arms. And 10 minutes later, he was running down the hall with the other children. A chase game started, and he left the room without his mom and was playing really, really fully with the other children. What Hand in Hand brings is a whole new way of looking at parenting. We are looking for where is the connection now, and how can we strengthen the connection between parents and children. And when that connection is frazzled, the child is off track or the parent is stressed, how can we help them connect again? How can they figure it out?
Sometimes my daughter would scream for 9 hours a day, and I didn't know what to do with her. I didn't know how to respond to it. So when I asked professional after professional, what do I do for my child?
I was a scary mom. Actually, that was part of my parenting philosophy, was I wanted to be scary enough to my child so that way he would obey me.
A friend of mine told me about Hand in Hand, and it just started to change things.
The first time I heard about Hand in Hand, it clicked immediately because I saw that that's exactly what my daughter needed.
Hand in Hand has restored the humanity of my children. That I can see them as people and not as my enemy.
The most important thing Hand in Hand has given me is a super strong connection with my son.
I want this to be something that all parents have access to, that is practical tools of human connection, people needing to be nurtured, children needing to be nurtured, parents need to feel supported, and that's the bottom line.
Before Hand in Hand, I was an exhausted, overwhelmed, lonely mom.
Hand in Hand makes sense. It's logic. It's not magic. It's not witchcraft. It just, again, for an engineer, it makes sense.
What made me want to be a Hand in Hand instructor is I saw such extreme transformations within myself and within my kids. I don't know that I'd ever felt so passionate or just so sure about anything before that.
It's about establishing strong connections with your children and reestablishing them when they get lost. You get to grow your relationship with your kid much more intimately, much closer. Every moment of that, it's a moment that I treasure.
What was parenting like for me before Hand in Hand? It was hard. I was a wreck. I was a wreck. I was so exhausted and so unsupported. And when I came across Hand in Hand, I started learning these tools that would support my kids, but then I also started learning about how I could support myself.
One of the things that we do in Hand is treat people with complete respect. And I don't care where you came from. When you are treated with respect, you can feel it, you can sense it.
One of the first classes that I actually taught, one of the mothers was leaving, I think this was class 5, and she had tears rolling down her face, and she just looked at me and said, "This could change the world."
I haven't even started. I was going to be the perfect parent. That was the plan. I wish you could have seen how perfect my plan was. That is, of course, before my daughter was actually born. That was 10 years ago, and when she was born, I was shocked by how disconnected we were. Here I was, a brand new mother, wanting the best for my new child, and I couldn't feel her. And I couldn't see her beauty. And I found myself reactive, thinking, who is she? Why is she doing that to me? Many things happened that is not the moment to talk about, but our environment had so many things that put so much stress in our relationship. But my concern was, what is wrong with her? And what is wrong with me? Why can't I connect in this beautiful way? I had envisioned a child knowing that mommy's here no matter what, and here I was reacting, feeling really desperate and lonely, thinking, what in the world am I going to do with this child? I couldn't see her beauty, and she's precious. I couldn't. As you can imagine, as she became a toddler, things were not necessarily going in the right direction. She started being off track quite often. And if you see pictures of her little self when she was 2, you'll see that she's afraid and she has her muscle tone all clenched up. And she was rigid in her behavior, aggressive at times, and the disconnection grew even wider. And here I ask myself again, what is wrong with her? What is wrong with me? And by then, I had another baby girl who happened to be a super easygoing baby. So then I went back to my oldest and be like, it is you. What's wrong with you? Of course, there was nothing wrong with her. At that time, somebody tried to tell me, hey, have you learned of Hand in Hand? There's this lady, Patty Whippler, saying you need to listen. And I was like, not for me, thanks. Of course, I wish I had listened, but I didn't because I wasn't ready for it. But one night, my husband was away. I had my 2 little girls. They were asleep. It was late at night. And I found out about a free event that was going to happen through the Hand in Hand website. It was a live call with Patty and some other expert, and I signed up for it. I had stumbled upon an article the week before that led me to finding Hand in Hand, and I was interested in, what is this? This sounds different. This sounds like reasonable and that this can help. So when I saw that there was an opportunity for me to listen to Patty Life, I did. I signed up. And I'm in the East Coast, so it was late at night, and I was just doing the dishes by myself at night, exhausted and lonely. And I heard Patty discuss this wonderful ideas with this other expert. And everything started to really make sense. And I was like nodding as I was finishing the dishes. But then at the end, something happened because Patty thanked me. Over the phone, she wasn't there. But her voice said, "Thank you. Thank you for the work that you do every single day because it matters." And I felt heard by you. You didn't even know me, but you were in my living room thanking me and seeing me. Like somebody got it. Somebody got how hard this was. I felt seen. I felt validated. Like my journey was not just ignored and lost. Somebody saw me. And then it's like, that's when I realized this is gold. I need more of this. So I went back to the website and I signed up for my first class, one of those self-guided classes. And I started applying the tools. The second day, I gave my daughter special time. The second day, I saw a spark in her eye that I had never seen. She was 4.5 by then. There she was. There she was. So all that aggressive behavior, all that rigidity, it started to melt away because it was summertime and my baby was napping consistently. So for a whole summer, I devoted myself with my full heart to applying these tools every single day. And there she was. So fast forward 5 years. She's thriving. Of course she's thriving. She's a phenomenal human being. I see her beauty. I feel her now. I realized there was nothing wrong with her, nothing wrong with me. And it's like she went up, up, up this metaphorical mountain, climbing up, 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 and then saying like, "Come on, Mom, like you gotta catch up. Like I need you up here. Like do the climbing, do the work, because I need you. I need you to be the best version of yourself." At the same time, my little one she's not by the top of the mountain. She's by the beach, and she has like she's so free, and I can picture her hair just in the breeze saying, "Come on, Mom, let's play. Like get rid of all that rigidity of yours and come play." And it's equally terrifying. But I have the support. I have the tools. I have the information. So we have conquered things big and small. And of course, I became fascinated, just like Amy was saying in her video, fascinated by what these tools did for me. So I decided this is what I want to do with my life. Absolutely. I want to share these tools. And I don't come here as an expert or as a teacher. I come here as a mom who found some really, really cool tools, and I want to share them with the world because they changed lives. And they changed my life, and they changed my daughter's life. And our family dynamic is so, so different. And my husband got on board, and I've been able to work with phenomenal parents, phenomenal instructors all over the world, in person and online. And I found a tribe of really cool people who get it. Who get that humans supporting humans is the way to go to heal our world. I agree completely. And that is why being here today for me is such an honor. Because I can now share that same hopeful message that there's nothing wrong with your child, that there's nothing wrong with you, that there is hope for healing, that we are here to support you as an organization. And now I get to borrow Patty's words and say, "We see you. What you're doing every single day matters. We see you." And maybe you're going to be like me years ago who are going to say like, not for me. Or maybe you're going to be someone who really needed to hear this today. So here I am, delighted to be here to tell you there's hope. And we are here. We're here to support you. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to briefly introduce Zelon Harrison, who is a certified instructor of hand-in-hand. She lives in Oakland or Richmond, lives in the East Bay, And she's a mother of 8. She is a grandmother of 14. She has also children that she has fostered. And if you thought that Hand in Hand was only for parents of 1 or 2 children, Zelon will now tell you different. She's a wise and wonderful and deeply courageous human being. So here's Zelon.
Hello, 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 hello. Thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate you. So I just needed that because I have 8 kids, okay? And Patty said I can't get a listening session from all you guys today. You know, that's what she just told me. I have about 4 minutes. You guys going to listen to my kids today? No, I'm just playing. So my name is Zelon, and I came to Hand in Hand because some of the same reasons you guys heard today, you guys wouldn't believe this. I had some little struggles with my 8 kids. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. Baby number 7, oh, she drove me crazy. However, I'm a baby sign instructor. I teach infant massage and I'm rites of passage. So I have all this knowledge on how to communicate with children. I'm a doula too, you know, all of it. I love all that wonderful things about communicating. However, Zabria got me to the point where none of those tools work. So as I was researching how to for baby sign, I was going to market my baby sign class, and I was researching, and Hand in Hand came up. And then it said parenting from a child's point of view. And I was like, wait a minute, that sounds like my theory, because I always thought that way, because I had my first kid at 14, mind you, okay? And I had 4 by the time I was 20. So we're talking about a parent with high stress levels, so it could be. But I wanted to be a mom. But that Zabria, again, was very difficult for me to engage and connect with. So I read more into Patty. I called Patty, and she was like, okay, well, you can't just jump into this. Yes, I can. I'm certified. I got all this stuff going on. And Zabria's behavior was very difficult, and I didn't whoop any of my children. I spanked them, but that's what goes on in my community, my family. That's what they raised me to do. And, you know, when I whipped my kids, I cried with them, so that what didn't work. You know, we're all crying over there. So, and mind you, you guys, too, one of my lovely children that John mentioned, see, that was my thunder. He's over there, right there. Stand up, Eric. That's my baby. That's number 2. That's number 2. And he's currently parenting 5 at home and 8, yeah, something like that. How many? We got the girls? Okay, I don't know. Yes, Lord, Heavenly Father. But he has a 10-month-old baby and 3 little ones under 5, so he's using the tools, so they work. And so we're going to go back to Zabria. So with Zabria, she was very difficult, and hitting her was not an option because she experienced early childhood trauma, so she was not in the mood to respond to corporal punishment. She didn't do well. She didn't care. You can hit me all you want. I'm going to do what I want after you hit me. So that didn't work for me, hitting her, and it was very difficult. She was like at school under the desk. She had a lot of off-track behavior. I didn't want to deal with her. It was hard for me to get other people to deal with her, and I love all my kids, but this got difficult. So when I seen Hand in Hand, and I figured out a way to really get what I needed out of this over the years. It wasn't easy, though, mind you. Like I said, I thought I could jump in because I'm already an instructor, right? And I already got 8 kids, right? So Patty couldn't have taught me more than I already knew, right? Right? Okay, yeah, right. Okay. Come on with me, right? So I thought, you know, she didn't know. However, as my journey went on, I got to the instructor's class. I seen a whole bunch of white women crying. Do we have hand sanitizers, some tissue? What's going on here? I'm serious. I didn't know. I just seen it. I was like, okay, this is weird. New style of parenting. So I went. Make a long story short, it took me 2 years to get through that class, a 1-year class. It took me 2. because I was able to learn how to, like you heard before me, work on some hard things that happened to me in my childhood. Having my kid at 14, I don't need to explain more. So Zabria triggered me, but I was able to offload a lot of those hard things that made it difficult for me to parent her with that off-track behavior, and to use the tools that Patty talks about, play listening, stay listening. All those things couldn't have been available because she, but I was able to get out what was it for me that made it hard for me to be there for her. Zabria's beautiful. She's 14. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm not talking about just inside. Outside. She loves herself. And she's come a long way from where we used to be. And I'm also using these tools right now. I'm teaching a class in the transitional housing in Oakland, and in the West Contra Costa School District, I'm doing a parenting class there. And we're supporting parents who feel that they've never been even heard about anybody listening to them, less known developing an adult listening partnership. So this is a very, very unique technique that's different from a lot of parenting tools. And this doesn't just make it better for the moment. This is truly changing the world. And that's my purpose in life when I had my kids, was to change the world. And this is giving me a nice vessel to do it with, because everybody needs to be heard. Not somebody, everybody. So investing in this part of this, if you really want to change the world, this is where it really starts, at parents getting it, and then they're giving it away. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Zelon, I bow down to you. I am Julia Wilhelm. I am a mom of 3 kids, so I really do bow down to you, Zelon. And I'm a member of Hand in Hand. I felt so compelled to join the board. In fact, I asked to join because I was so moved by the work, how much Hand in Hand benefited me and my family, that I said, I want to join your organization and see how I can help to get Hand in Hand's work out into the world in a more broad way. And so that's what I'm here to ask all of you today to help join us. You've heard us say, change parenting and change the world. And you're probably asking yourself now, as we ask you to contribute to our organization, how does my contribution actually do that? And so I'd like to answer that question for you from my perspective. And first off, I think you should know that from what I've witnessed, fiscal responsibility at Hand in Hand is absolutely scrupulous. It is exemplary. We operate out of what I would consider to be, for Palo Alto, free office space. It's got to be the least expensive space in Palo Alto, on donated furniture. This is our big event. While it was free to you to come here, we negotiated every cost of it. You're not seeing a lot of extra flourishes. We care very much about how money is used in this organization, and the most important component of that is the staff of this organization. Patty, Julie, Noelani, Paul, all of the team here. It's a very small group, but I can say with great conviction that it's the most dedicated group of people I've seen to any cause, any company, anything of any sort. Dedicated is not even the right word. I would say beyond just Patty, who certainly has devoted her life to this organization, everybody involved with this organization, through the instructors, the board members, this is a labor of love for everybody. And so you can know that your contribution to our organization is going towards getting our work out to the world and doing it in a thoughtful way. We've focused on training instructors and then getting them out into the parts of the community that need this message the most. And why is this important? I'd like to answer that question as well. I thought about this a lot myself in having children. What do I want from them? What kind of society do I want to see them living in, and do I want to contribute to? And at the most basic level, I thought, really I would like them to be able to enjoy their lives. I'd like everyone to be able to enjoy our lives and to feel good about themselves, to feel good about ourselves. So at a fundamental level, we call that happiness, right? We call that happiness. Everyone wants a chance for happiness. But how as a society have we gone about contributing to and creating happiness for ourselves, for our society? I think we can say in the United States that focus has been from an economic perspective. It's been, and we've had great strides. There's been tremendous increases in wealth and income in the past several generations. But if you look at measures of happiness, we have not made strides in that. In fact, if you look at things like prescriptions for antidepressants, if you look at opiate abuse, violence, lots of measures to say economic prosperity alone has not been the answer to improving our happiness. So what is? Well, there actually have been quite a few studies about happiness and what contributes to human happiness. And the single most contributing factor to our happiness turns out to be the quality of our interpersonal connections, specifically those most intimate to us. And so that's where Hand in Hand comes in. This is what we're doing. This is exactly what Hand in Hand is doing, is we are fostering connections between people. We are improving the parent-child connection, and we're helping kids to face the challenges of their life with resilience. And we've been doing this for 30 years. We've seen time and time again that it is possible to, as what we've been saying, change parenting and change the world. But here's where you come in. We can't continue to do it without your support. So I'm here to ask you, and please, I'm asking the table captains right now, right here, right now, at this moment, you have some envelopes in front of you to please pass out to your table so that each of you may have the opportunity to make a direct donation to our organization. For those of you on Facebook Live, I'm waving to you as well. You can donate by clicking on that button on your computer. Do we have the opportunity to donate via text? Yes, we have the opportunity to donate via text right now as well, if that's easier for you. For those of you on Facebook Live or right here, what is the number? 41444 is a number you may text. Text parenting to 41444 if you'd like to go that route. And I'd like to also be sure you know about an incredibly generous offer from a perennially generous individual and family to our organization who has offered a $30,000 match for today. So please help us to get to $60,000 at this luncheon today via this generous match that we're tremendously grateful for. And as you're doing that, I'd like to mention one other thing. If you or your company or organization that you're part of would be interested to partner with Hand in Hand in a more significant way, we'd love to talk to you about that. If you, like me, are compelled to want to join our board, we'd love to talk to you about that. And lastly, if you would simply like to learn more about what these tools are that we've been talking about and how to apply them to your family, we do have an instructor, Maria Chu. Where are you, Maria? Maria, terrific. Maria, stand up, please. So after you are done with your envelopes, we'd love to have you join Maria outside in the courtyard. She's going to be giving a talk about the tools specifically. So we'd love to have you join her and learn more. So thank you. This is my way of giving a collective hug to this room. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support and partnership. We are truly grateful, and we really are doing incredible things. Thank you. Oh, the lobby will be better to check. Oh, and for those, thank you. And I'm sorry, last message, for those of you who want to text, if you're in service, the lobby is a great place to do that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
here today. We have one of our instructors who will be offering a talk for anyone who wants to hear more about the tools. So you've heard a lot about special time and how it impacts families. If you want to know more, have questions about it, Maria, are you in the room? Maria's got her hand up here. Maria is going to be in a conference room at the end of the hall. So again, in about 15 minutes, if you'd like to learn more about the or have questions, any follow-up, we can go down the hall at the very end to the left, and Maria will be there to help you out in about 15 minutes. We'll make another reminder then. Thank you.
Comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright.